Hi, this is Buzz, and I got a few tips for you that are using great stuff. And first of all, let me point out I recently tried this brand, and it does do what they claim. It has less voids, uniform structure, and it seems to dry a little faster. It dries white, so this is good. If that's great stuff, then this is greater stuff. Okay, now I've used about 100 cans of this stuff over the years, so let me share what I learned about it. First of all, I had some areas I couldn't reach because they were too awkward. Like, you have to hold the can upside down or it won't come out right, and sometimes there's a clearance that doesn't allow you to do that, and you're like, what am I gonna do? Okay, here's what you do. You buy some of this tubing at the hardware store. It's sold in rolls or by the foot. And here's the size here. Here's the tag right off of it. 3/16 inner diameter. See? And 5/16 outer diameter. This was in a 10-foot package. And the reason you want this is because here's your stock tip on the great stuff with their newer version of the thing in the red straw. Now, this tubing fits real tightly right over that. I could press it on right now, but it's really tight, so I'm not going to press it on right now. But once it is, then while you're working, all you got to do is to change the can. You don't have to change the whole apparatus. You just unscrew that, screw on another can, and try to time your work so that you use one whole can at a time. Once this stuff dries up in the tube like that, you can blow it out with the compressed air blower hose. If you have one, you get most of it out, but it's probably gonna still have some in there. Doesn't cost that much. Now, the Loctite is compatible with the great stuff tip, but their hose is a much bigger diameter, and you can't use this hose with this extension. I believe it's exactly the same size as this stuff, but here's the Loctite tip. You see, it's way bigger. It's not going to fit inside of there. Okay, so now you can hold the can upside down, and with that, stuck in there, you can reach some really hard to reach areas. And then if you really got to reach far, glide your tubing through a piece of PVC pipe till it comes out of the end like that, and then put some tape around here to keep it from moving around. And now you can probably reach 2 or 3 feet like I had to. I had some rim joists that I couldn't reach. No matter what I did, they were really far set back. And with this, I was able to do it, just changing the can when I ran out, and I was able to seal out all the cracks and crevices where bugs and or rodents could get in. Now, you want to wear gloves, maybe even heavier than these, because once great stuff foam dries on your hands, acetone won't get it off. It'll get it off if it's fresh. If it's still wet, acetone on a paper towel will get it off, but once it's dry on there, you're not going to get it off. So be patient and think ahead. Put on the gloves first, not the real thin cheapos. And if you do get it on your skin, one of these on a hand drill will, hold it and don't burn your skin, or, go too deep, that'll get a lot of it off, or else you can just use like a sheet of 120 grit paper. So that's about it. I think I ramped it up. My contribution is that, well, I'll stick it on there real quick just to prove it to you that this hose does fit, so you don't end up buying a bunch of shit and end up, see how it pressed real hard? I would go in a little bit deeper than that if I were you. Now you're able to hold the can upside down, which is the only way it'll spray, and you can reach all kinds of areas you couldn't before. And I guess that wraps it up. And thank me, and then the company will probably steal my idea. But you know what, I don't know about that, but they don't even offer to sell you extra tips at the store, which they should, because you know most people don't use a whole can at one time, and when they go back to use it, their thing's all dried up and plugged unless they blew it out, you know, like I just said. And then you can get the remainder out with like a drill bit, stick it in there and unplug it. Like you see, I leave mine like that in between cans, and then I just use a drill bit to unplug it. And you know that, but when it gets low, it's pretty much a timed event. You gotta use it before it gets too low, or else it won't come out. It'll just dry up in there. So, all right, thank you, and throw money.